on the sacred space of the dance floor, where the bass thunders like a heartbeat and the rhythm pulses through every cell of my being, I have found a higher plane of existence. Here, there are no walls, no borders, only the infinite. Under the glow of spinning lights, surrounded by strangers turned family, we move as one. This is transcendence. This is the Church of House. And at the altar stands the DJ, a priest, a pastor, a shaman of sound. Their hands guide the congregation, weaving vibrations into a sermon that heals, transforms, and sets us free. But the story of this church is incomplete without its most powerful stewards, women. Women, with their inherent creative power, are the original musicians. From the first heartbeat heard in the womb to the universal rhythm of life itself, women have always been the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the physical and the spiritual. As womb holders, we create life. And in doing so, we channel the unseen forces of the universe into tangible form. Is it any wonder that we, as women, are natural-born DJs? Just as we give birth to life, we give birth to music. The sounds that shape our emotions, our memories, our world. These women, the guardians of groove, are more than selectors of sound. They are architects of vibration, carrying the traditions of house music into the future. From all the heads who danced in the basements all across Chicago, to the rising stars who bring fresh voices to the decks, they channel the energy of a movement that has always been about liberation, joy, and unity. This is their story. These are the women of the house.
Did I mention she is 16 years old? 16 years rocking the box.
Can you tell me the inception of the name DJ Mod?
Honestly, it kind of just started off like a internet nickname that my friends kind of chose for me, and I just stuck to it. So.
Oh, that's super cool. Okay, your friends chose it. All right. So did you tell them that you were looking for a name, for a DJ name, or they just started?
It actually based off on a game that I play for my username, and my friend shortened it to Mon, and I just kind of used that nickname ever since.
So when did you decide, I want to get serious about DJing? I think I really want to do this. I want to stop playing around, and I want to try and make this a thing that I do.
As soon as I started practicing.
And when was that?
Like a couple spring break, which was like this year, like a few months ago. Only had like learned beat matching in one day, and and then when I went back to now for the summer, I just started practicing ever since.
Wow. So you got a genius on your hands, basically. So your dad, of course, is a famous DJ, can bang that box. So was that your inception, or was that, I should say, your impetus for wanting to DJ, or was it a myriad of things that came into it?
I mean, other than just saying that I got inspired by him, I wanted to do it. It's fun to do it. So.
As a dad, this is one of my great accomplishments, teaching her how to DJ, but I also taught her how to swim, how to survive in water. My dad didn't teach me how to swim. I had a cousin threw me in the 10-foot deep part of the pool, your cousin Paul. Threw me into the 10-foot deep part of the pool. You know? And I would never do her like that. But I want her to know that no matter how deep the water is, if I'm in the pool with you, you're safe. I'm not gonna let you drown. I'm not gonna put you in a situation to be a failure. I'm not gonna set you up for failure.
The stuff that I've heard you play is not the typical teenage ear. That's not the typical music that they would gravitate towards and listen to.
I mean, I will say then I was more strict of what I listened to because I wasn't like I was an open person, but not really. But when it came to like music, but now I'm kind of like, now that I'm getting into the DJ type of thing, I'm listening more and seeing what I like and trying to see what other people like too.
Oh, okay. So listening more, so basically you kind of curating your listening more, okay? Because your time is valuable and it's limited. So the time that you do have, and especially as you're coming into your craft, you really want to use that to kind of listen to music and kind of see what direction that you want to go in.
Right.
And one thing that I wanted to mention that I noticed, I'm like, she has a great ear for melody. Because I've listened to a lot of younger DJs, as they're coming into their craft, and a lot of times I notice they just want to bang, 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 and they're like. So what's your thing with the melody and for finding like the right sounds to blend together? Does it just all come together in your head? Does it happen in your head first? Do you hear it first and then?
I gotta hear the track first and then deciding on how to blend it in. I just have to listen out and make sure how it, it's not like the next track I'm fading into doesn't sound like all rough when the other one was like all calm, so. I like more melody tracks, because it's like a softer tune. I like stuff like that.
Okay, as opposed to the more like hard house and
I like some Jack and House tracks. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite, but I like some of it. No, it's not. I don't have anything wrong with showing my friends about any of this. It's just that, some of the people that I know and my generation, people my age, I know how some of them are, and most of them are very biased on a lot of stuff, and they don't like to really they'll say oh, that's cool, but then they won't actually go and actually try to check it out. And my age group is just very biased on certain stuff, because most of my generation, they listen to rap, they listen to, all of that type of stuff. And I doubt that they ever heard house music. So for them, and not saying it's for every other person and for every other kid, they actually might like it, but I'm not saying that's going to be like that for everybody.
And I know we put everything on our kids, don't we? But I feel like your generation has such, we're at a very pivotal moment in house music culture right now, whereas people like you are going to be responsible for bringing us into the future and for continuing this culture and for continuing to evolve it, transform it, make it even better than what it is. But again, to do that, you're going to create your own niche, your own scene. That's the word I'm looking for.
I know she's going to be quiet about it.
Yeah.
And I get that. But when you get to college, that's when you're going to be able to really spread your wings.
Good to see some of our past Queens of House CJs out here in the field. Mad love for your support, AC. Y'all, one more time, give it up for 16-year-old prettiest princess of house, CJ Mime. Come on, show the youth some love. Show the youth some love. Listen, don't be waiting around to get down, because Chicago don't play with us. hour. You got 30 minutes left. So if you see them, give them some love, give them some energy. If you feel it, get out here and groove. Pump your hands while you in line over there with the food truck. Get it in while you can. Be in the moment, be in the present. Thank you again, CJ Mine. I've been passing out these.
Introducing you, my very own daughter, Soul Cat. Let's give it up for her.
I like that.
I kept the seat hot for you.
But you know, you are following your calling because just listening to
other side, you're not gonna have your
Because you were talking about your, how you got into it. It was like your spirit, the spirit, God, and the God in you put you there. You know what I'm saying? It opened. It just like the way was made for you to do this. So this is when people ask you why or why you don't do. You are following the God in you. You are following God's calling. This is a calling for you. So just you keep that in mind for yourself because.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. It gets discouraging sometimes. It's been times I wanted to just, a few times I wanted to stop, quit, do another picnic. But forget that I said, my friends, like Ron, it's like, don't do that, This was putting you to do this, your integrity and everything, and you do that. One of my ideas were to make sure that I rotate the lineup each year. And so my team and I went back and forth about whether or not should we rotate or just have a core team. Each year you're going to see maybe these 4 or 5 DJs, each guaranteed you're going to see them. But then I said, you know what? I want to rotate because there's so many of us. I want to make sure every lady gets a turn. Some of these DJs that I put on the lineup half the time, I've never met them before. I've never met them before. They've never met me. I'm going off of other people's words. Male DJs are coming to me. Hey, have you heard of DJ CJ? She is cold. We need to put her on. Hey, have you heard of DJ Keisha? You need to put her on. I said, okay. And so I correspond through these DJs who I've never met via social media. I send them a message. Hey, I heard about you. Oh, yes, I'm so excited. I heard about your event. I want to play. Yes, here's my bio. Here's my Mixcloud link. Here's my website link. Girlfriend, yes. They send me all that. And my team and I would take a listen and stuff, check them out. I also I low-key try to check their vibe via the message. See where they at. That's one of the things I do ask when people put their, female suggest a DJ to me. I ask, how is their personality? And are they easy to get along with? Are they easy, to work with? Again, we don't have to be besties. I just don't want to work with a diva. That's all. I don't need all that. I'm saying, well, what time am I getting on? I don't want to get put on at this time, and do want to make sure I drink out of this cooler and not that cooler. It's like, girlfriend, will you get your butt up there and play and go sit down somewhere? Jays. You're learning something. A lot of people have said, man, I've never heard of her. She's dope. She's cold. And not just the white women, but the black girls too. They're like, I've never seen her. I've never heard her before. Yes, bring your butt out here. This is free. This is free presentation, free event I'm putting on for you to get introduced to this. Be seen and heard so you can hear something different, hear something new, and to check them out. And maybe even book them for some events. You never know who's looking. Like Ron said, him and his team, the booth 312, they're there to not only support, but they're live streaming it through their station, thank God. So now this is being seen all over the world now. Anybody can just tune in on YouTube and now see you now playing. And so now there's more exposure. I like this one girl, this one lady walked up to my sound guy. She just kept going back and forth with him. I was trying to figure out what's going on. And so my tech was like, it's okay. What's the name of the DJ up there that's playing? What's her name? I said, that's DJ Psycho Bitch. For real? I didn't think that was her real name. Yes, that is her real name. It is DJ Psycho Bitch. I must have messed around and had to create a flyer when Psycho was playing. I took off bitch or something. She hit me back. Hey, where's the bitch?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
hey, where's the bitch? You know what I'm saying? I said, I got you, Psycho. I apologize. I had to hurry up and create this for a certain particular person. I had to make it kind of family friendly. Mm-hmm. Sorry, it was business. She was like, okay, next time don't leave off the bitch. I'm gonna put the bitch back. So you learn. So people, I'm trying to educate people here. Also, too, again, it's queens of house. I want everybody to win. This is not a competition. Some people got it. Oh, well, this is a DJ contest, a female DJ competition. No, this is not a competition.
Right.
This is for you to get up when it's your time to get on. Now you up on the decks next. Now you play. Now you do the last DJ. She did her set. She wowed that crowd. They up there. The crowd is like this, like whoa. Now what if you get ready to come in with this? You come in, boom, and then you come in banging your stuff. You mess them up, so crack some skull. That's what I call it. Crack their skull. They be the crowd be out there messed up. Yes. Do you understand? I'm now talking to the crowd, the people. To come out, how important it is to come out to get a free beat down. And I love it when people ram their head into the speakers. They want to hit it, boom, boom, and stuff. I heard that's you. I see you got your little hair cap on. I see you got your little speaker protection. Yes, it's serious, It's some.
I call it my sound bath.
Yes, it's sound bath. You have to embody that. I mean, some female DJs have gotten compliments like you play like a man, and I'm not offended by that. It's a compliment.
I heard that before. Somebody before the post closed from where they used to be on stage, and I had just met one of the. I think he's actually with Sheldon's partner. I can't remember his name. He's a super cool dude, but
okay.
I was telling him about some of the DJs that I really liked, and that's when I was really starting to be a fan of DJ Alicia, and I was talking about her. He was like, "Oh yeah, she be like a dude. She be like a dude. That's why."
Yeah. See, I don't find it I mean, don't say that I look like a man. Don't that I get offended. If you say I look like a man, I'm like, wait a minute. Now people say I look like my daddy. Now you taking it too far. You said you think you get it, but
I mean, if you look like a man, I'm cool.
Cut it out, sir.
You like that's the sexiest man. Right? No, I know what you beauty, right? Okay, you take it.
Right. He's so silly. Yeah, telling a woman, well, to me, if when a man said I play like a dude, I'm not offended. I remember the topic was brought up on, I want to say Lloyd Branch's radio show about the title female DJ. Should the female DJ be removed, or should we just be called just DJ?
Like female rapper, right?
Yeah, female rapper. I think it's cool. Keep female DJ. I like that. Keep female DJ, because again, male-dominated DJ, male-dominated hip-hop. So, you're like, we about to put a rap on. Okay, so she a lady. Oh, she a female. I know there's people, she a woman. Oh, the first thing, there's been times, not times, there have been a lot of times I'll be at a venue setting up my equipment, and I have always bring a male roadie, a male friend or somebody to help me set up the speakers and stuff. It's heavy. That's one of the only cons of being a DJ. That's DJ. The equipment sometimes be heavy, and I have to bring somebody. I'm strong. I'm tiny but mighty, but damn it, stuff is heavy. Then people walk up to the man, like, "Oh, what's up, dog? So you about to play, huh? You brought your girl here with you, about to teach you how to play. And, what you about to play, man? What up, homie? And how long you been spinning?" And the guy's like, "No, she's the DJ. I'm with her. I'm helping her out. I'm not on that. And they, oh, you the DJ? Yes, I'm the DJ. You know what I'm saying? It's me. Right? And so, right, I'm here. It's me. So so people automatically gravitate towards the dude that's with me and give him props. And I don't get offended. Why? It's male dominant. This is a man's world. It's real. No, it's not. Not without a woman. All right, you about to get this down to you. I'm trying not to sing now. The ladies just want us. Oh, see, she about to keep going. We're gonna do that cycle. Yeah. So it's perfectly fine with the whole female DJ thing. That's why I wanted to push that out there so people will know and understand exactly what we stand for, exactly what we're here for, exactly what we're doing here. No shade towards the men DJs. There's nothing towards that. I get a kick out of some men DJ. Hey, so can we put my wig on, girl? Put me on. I be like, I got you, dog. I got you. I'm gonna shave my legs. Come on, like that. And when Ron was talking about the DJs, like, well, man, if I put her on at my event, then I can't get on her event. Well, yeah, true that. However, like I mentioned before about you never know who you know, I might know somebody who's throwing some big festivals. Somebody like, hey, put my boy on. He put me on at his event. Put him on at yours.
Exactly.
I might low key be working on something, and whereas be men and women, I'm like, I definitely put them on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna eventually. I don't go put that out there yet, but I'm working. I would like to one day do something so men and women can play. So I also want to do something with the little boys, with the young men. DJing. That didn't sound right. I want to put on an event. Edit that. I would like to.
Hope you saw the little boys.
Right, you gotta say no Diddy, but right.
No Diddy.
It's okay, nasty. No. I would like to put on an event.
Maybe the queens and kings of house music.
Something like that. Something for the young men to play house music and to get to learn to DJ. So, I'm Nakia, aka DJ Soul Cat. I'm the creator and founder of Queens of House Picnic. It is a event created for female DJs to showcase their talent and their skills on the ones and twos in the genre of house music. We're approaching our 9th year. When I first started DJing, how I got started is I met my neighbor down the street. He just so happened was a DJ, and so my father suggested that I go down there and get some suggestions from him. Growing up in Inglewood was very it has its ups and downs, of course, but however, you kind of get used to your environment to the point where you're able to just, pretty much take the good with the bad. And so I grew up on 7056 South Eggleston, and that's where I got exposed to house music. Gary's Game, listen to the music and stuff. I was like, yo, this is nice. And I heard Your Body and all that good stuff. But then I heard Time Marches On. And that's when something changed. It shifted because I thought, house music was everything. And party and move. But then Time Marches On. It had this different vibe to it. And I was like, whoa. It makes
a little bit hypnotic, trance.
Yeah, I didn't know whether to cry or laugh. I was just like, and nothing stays the same, and it just flowed differently. And I was like, wow, I really like that. So,
And what year would you say that was about?
that was around early '80s, like '84, '85, and one of the things I do enjoy being in this house music community is that just about everyone is older than I am, and so. You mentioned you attended Hyde Park. My brother went to Hyde Park, class of '92.
They probably knows my sister. She came out of '92.
Oh, yeah. I believe, because we'll talk afterward. So, yeah, I heard about Mendel and high school parties, but they went to Sawyer's Playground, the warehouse and stuff. All of that stuff, I was probably either too young to get in them clubs, or I probably wasn't even born yet. But I enjoyed hearing those stories. I have an older cousin. He's, I think he DJ'd back in the day, and so I was over at their house, and he was playing vinyl. He put on, he was playing Ecstasy and Pain, Touch and Go. I never heard the song before. I'm a child. I'm maybe about 4 or 5 years old, and it's the acapella version. It's the acapella version. I'm so silly. It's the acapella version at first, and she come out. You claim to be the man. You see when you can. Now, and he already in it, clapping hard. No beat, no music. I don't want to know. And his mother, my aunt, hurry up and scurries her. Uh-oh, here it goes. And she runs away. So I'm just still standing at the threshold of the door like, well, what's the problem? What's up? And then all of a sudden the acapella just fades out. Wanna touch me, oh, like that, just fades out. He's still in it. No music. Then all of a sudden, blew my little butt back up against the window. I was like, what is this? This is awesome. And I was like, ever since then, I said, yes. Whatever this is, I mess with it. I rocks with yes. Touch and Go, Donna Summers, all that. What they call it? I call it disco, but they call it deep house. All that stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm down with whatever this is. It go hard. As little as I was like, okay, I'm feeling this. So yeah, I used to. I wanted to be a part of that, but the only way my way into that world was listen on my little strawberry shortcake radio and tune into 89.3 WKKC FM Friday night audio, listen to their house music, and then people talked about WBMX, if I said it correct. I probably did tune in but didn't realize it. But I heard of Farley and all that stuff, so silly. It's just that I'm so glad I got into this because I met some of the people that was behind some of these tracks. And so, for example, Move Your Body, I thought that singer was the same vocalist for just about all the house music tracks.
Everybody was trying to sound like everybody.
Right, that nothing saying the same, move your body. So I thought they were all the same people. And so I met Curtis McLean, and so she's the voice, he's the singer of Move Your Body. And I asked, of course, it's not true, he didn't sing everything, but on the songs that he's on. But yeah, it was such an honor, like I said, to eventually, coming into this world, house music community, to get into this and meet some of the people who are behind it. Okay, but yeah.
So let's talk about your aunt a little bit, because I read that your aunt inspired you, and she used to DJ, Aunt Denise.
Yes, my Aunt Denise, God rest her soul, she just passed away June 17th. She went by the name Miss Beasley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she would be downstairs in my aunt's and her sister's basement DJing for my cousin's birthday parties and stuff. And for just about all the family events, she was the DJ. I would watch her pick up the vinyl. examine it and stuff. And so I just was drawn for some reason to the DJ table. I'm watching the vinyl spin around. I'm watching the DJ with the headphones on. Why are they wearing headphones? I couldn't. What's that big metal box with all the buttons on it in the middle? I couldn't understand that. And so it just looked so technical, but they were so into it and stuff. And I'm like, wow, what are they doing? So yeah, she was my inspiration. So I feel so honored and so grateful to pass the, keep the torch, keep it moving. It's like she passed the torch to me, like, all right, niece, you keep this going. So playful. I often make jokes saying, I'm a happy drunk, when I drink out, hey, let's get it. I want to, I like peace. I like to have fun. I enjoy laughing. And so when I hear house music, all that does is just empower that. So now I'm feeling extra groovy. Now I'm like, hey. So then for somebody to come in there on some stank, I'm like, oh, wow. Where did that come from? Why are you doing this? What's wrong? What's up? And my heart goes out to the person. I'm sorry you're feeling that way, sir or lady. Ma'am, I'm sorry you're feeling crappy. But please keep your negative juju over there. Don't bring it over here. Don't hate on me because I almost said something. Because the chick is happy. I almost said that. I'm sorry to trigger something. Don't hate on me because I'm happy. So yes, the culture of house music is very important to past, present, and future. I pray and hope to God this thing just keeps flourishing and we keep passing down and installing the importance. Keep that originality. Don't stray away too far away. Doing different stuff. Now you didn't put other crap in it. Now it's totally. I hope that's why I enjoy like parents like Ron, Tinsley, and other people who bring their children to house music picnics and house music events and stuff. I see the pregnant women got their bellies all up around the speakers and stuff, sitting on the speaker with the belly. I'm like, wow, that baby is catching everything. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it. But even if the child is sitting there just bored, they playing with their tablet, but at least they hearing it.
They soaking in the spirit of it.
Somehow, some way. I like the way they look at us. I like the way sometimes teenagers, they look at us, they watch us dance, and I want to say, see what we're doing? We're dancing. Y'all don't know nothing about this, do
you? Dance no more.
Right. Right. I mean, they've never, I don't know if they've ever been to like a party. When I think of party, I think of Rick James and, give it to me, babe. And I remember seeing my parents and my family getting it, hey, and stuff, and watching the mood change in each song they put on. That's another reason why I want to be a DJ, because I noticed each song changed the vibe in the room. But anywho, yeah, I just pray that you just keep that going. I'm glad that people like you are documenting, recording footage, because this is historical archive stuff. I'm glad some people got some photos and stuff from the Mendel parties. I've seen people post up of some of these house DJs that I know, they were young. I said, well, wow, you used to be young. You're bald, got gray hair now, but look at you. You was a little young, little cheeky. Look at you, little young cat. So I mean, I like that they, that they bring the kids and stuff to the events and keep it going. So yes, it's very important to keep it going. And I'm gonna speak for myself. I want to make sure that I keep it going. That's really important. I don't stop. And I appreciate you guys so much for taking the time out and chose me to be a part of this. I'm so appreciative. Thank you so very much.
Well, thank you for being willing to share. And I also want to thank DJ Alicia because she put us together. So.
Oh yes, shout out to DJ Alicia. Thank you so much. Thank you.
DJ Carlos. DJ. DJ Monty. Alamo D. DJ Limo. DJ Gang. The Child. DMC. Joe P. Emmanuel B. Who Williams. Todd Gale. Mike Dunn. Tyree. DJ Greedy. KG. Paul Johnson. Lewis Bell. Mark Clark. DJ Rush. Ferris. Lou Williams.
That's my time, y'all. Southside, 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 get that money, Southside, Southside, get that money, Southside. What's up, Odell? That was my time, y'all. First lady in the house, Queen's the house. Coming up next is the big sister of all big sisters. None of us will be DJing if we didn't see her first. Make sure you follow me on social media. My name is Sundance, Chicago's Titus. You can find me on social media, TikTok real heavy. I got those USBs. What? Alicia, do I introduce Mama? Oh, you? Man? It's an honor just to be on the stage with her. Y'all had to find me from the west side. The play was Celeste. Shit. Celeste low key too. That's my time, y'all. That's my time. Man, listen. Sundance play too much. Come around and take your bow, queen. Come around and take your bow, queen. Come on around and take your bow, queen. Listen, because you know. Let's give it up one more time for Rose Red. She is one of our DJs. She plays on the Queen's Court on the Sport 9801 South Avenue G. That's Calumet Park Beach on the south side of Chicago. First Sunday every August. All female DJs, house music, Chicago. We're going to see you. Thank you, Rose Red.
My favorite Frankie Knuckles quotes is that you don't have to like everything, but you have to listen to everything. And that is so true.
Because how we know if you like it, if you
Right?
don't listen.
I have come across some amazing tracks in genres that I never would have thought, that I never would have dug through, that I never would have imagined even sound like that. But it's because I gave it a chance. And I want to listen to everything, but the way my time is set up right now, it makes it hard for me to listen to everything. And so sometimes I have to kind of, I go to the charts, but I don't strictly stay there. So I look through that, I look through all sorts of folders. If I see an artist that I like, I kind of fall down that rabbit hole and I say, well, if I like this, let's see what else they've got. And I don't limit myself to just the new stuff. I will go do a deep dive on, on an artist or on a label even. I say they've been putting out great stuff. Let's see what their whole catalog sounds like. And I'll pick things that people haven't heard in ages, and sometimes that's a great feeling too, because it doesn't, sometimes what's new to you can be a classic to somebody else.
Exactly.
As long as you're both feeling it.
And you can connect to a new audience as well.
Exactly. And now my kids too, they connect to music that I listened to way back in the day. And to see them enjoy it and have my own nostalgia about it is nice. And I love giving that feeling to other people. I guess one of the big things that I could talk about that I left out was that Sofa Kings group that I worked with. The way that I came into that group was actually through meeting my husband, who was one of the first people that introduced me to house music and took me to the first spots that I got to dance and really enjoy music, and exposed me to all of these incredible people that I played with and got the chance to learn from. And that was the big part that I believe, it was great. He was a part of the first residency that I had as well. That was a part of the story on how I first got into there too, because the funny thing is that spot, it was known as Fiesta Cantina, but the upstairs was Club Eden, they called it. And that's where they played house music. So we did the Wrigleyville thing at the bottom, but the guy that owned that was actually, I think, his gym teacher in grade school. So he knew him for a while, and we would go to the spot and visit, and that was kind of how we got asked to play there.
Oh, wow.
And why they gave me the chance to, as a 19-year-old, have a residency over on Park Street. But I'm really grateful for that. That was a great time. We got the chance to play together, and he was a big part of the Sofa Kings crew too. Like I said, we had one DJ that did funky house and one that did more disco house, and he did it well. I really enjoyed listening to his sets, but I think it was listening to all of that motivated me to want to get started too, because, and it's not knocking it, I enjoyed, like I said, what he played, but I always felt like there was so much more to it. And as much as we loved playing those same records, I was always looking for new music. And I kind of wanted to veer in my own direction and see what happened. I'm happy that I did, because a lot of amazing things have happened because of it. He was sick and had asthma and breathing issues, so back in 2019, unfortunately, we lost him. And a lot of the reasons I feel like I'm motivated now to accomplish my goals and work hard is because I feel like I'm not working for just myself at this point. I know that all of these amazing events that I've had the honor of getting put on, he would be so proud, and be happy for me. And I'm always grateful to the house community for helping me get through that, because it was through coming back to the music that's really helped my healing through it. So.
I later found out that there were also some additions that may need to be.
Yes. So I might have mentioned S&S, but I think you didn't really understand who was behind S&S and what that means to have my first record come out on S&S. That's the label that belongs to Steve Silk Hurley and Shannon Skip Zayas. So yeah, I'm still speechless, and it's been 2 years now almost since that happened. So they're incredible people, and they're super supportive and open to bringing in new talent, and open to just listening to what you have to offer, and really giving people a chance. So I'm super excited, to hear that they wanted to take on our first EP, but that was through DJ Seven, who you met last week, our guest here on the Red Lab, or in the Red Garden. He is a good friend of mine, and I always talked to him a lot about when I was DJing, how frustrating it was sometimes because I would have these ideas for music and have all these sounds in my head and things that I thought would make great tracks, and I just didn't know yet how to put that, to put that on, not necessarily paper, but on a computer, to make it something. And he was super helpful and willing to help me learn and show me how to create my vision. I would tell him, this is what I would love for this to sound like, and he would help me figure out how to make that happen. And so little by little, I would send him stuff that I thought, I would listen to something and be like, oh my gosh, I would love this, and I would just shoot it right his way. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And it got to the point where he was like, all right, we need to do something about this, and it got to a point where I got this idea to start listening to videos of WNUA 95.5, like old recordings that they have up on YouTube because I love jazz, I really do. And so I was looking for my inspiration there. And I came across this song that the sound just blew me away. I loved it. And right in that moment, it was like, this is the one. This is the one. I want it to be this one. This is going to be the first one. Yeah, and we had a record release party over at, we had two of them actually. One at Enjoy over in Logan's, on Division Street, and one at Esmeralda's. Which was interesting because that then led to the first time that was the first time the owner of Esmeralda's heard me play, and he really enjoyed my set and had me in mind to play later on at the end of that year. So that was an interesting dynamic. And that's why I really like to say that you never know who's listening when you play. Because I've had some great opportunities come from people that have really enjoyed my set, and I had no idea that they were even there.
And so during that time where you were doing 2 residencies, how did you pick the music for each?
So the venue is important. One was on Division Street, and so that's like they're both north side spots, but Esmeralda's is a Taino lounge, and so for me that had a different meaning. It had a deeper meaning because I am of Puerto Rican descent, and so for me to have the residency at a spot that is the only Taino lounge in the city that I know of was unbelievable.
That's a big deal.
It is, and my father was into music, and he's no longer with us as well. And when I was younger, he would play music with his friends, like just impromptu bands in Humboldt Park. And so for me to be a part of playing in that neighborhood and at the Taino Lounge where I really wanted to connect that set to my roots. It had to be Afro-Latin. It did. I wanted to play the most, and I kept saying it like the most Puerto Rican set I could, while still maintaining my house, roots.
Right.
But I wanted the Latin vibe to be there. Some of the tracks that I played were like remixes of songs that my dad used to play. Remixes of stuff that I used to listen to my mom and my aunt play, in the house while they were cleaning. And it was special. It was really special. But Enjoy, now that's more like the crowd that hangs out there. It's like being with my friends. And so that vibe is a little different. I was more into the jack-in and the really trying to beat it, you know what I mean? That I really wanted to bring it for that one and stick to what really brought me into house music, which in the beginning was a lot of jackin' and tech and deep house. So I kind of went back to my roots in that sense there. of what I really like, the vibe of the first tracks that I really enjoyed enough to want to buy the records that I wanted to play. Kings of Tomorrow, I can't go without saying that. Finally, the Julie McKnight, that is still, I'd have to say, probably my all-time favorite. That's another one that kind of gives me all the feels when I hear it. The words have a lot of meaning to me too. You know, sometimes you connect with the music, and sometimes you connect with the lyrics. That one, it's both.
Intersects.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So, leading into getting all this musical experience, let's go into how that prepared you for getting asked to open for the Lewis.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, like I said, that group that I came up and played with really did a great job of exposing me to all different kinds of house music, and so has the Red Lab and the Red Garden, and working on the booth, and even Esmeralda's, I'll say. You know, all of those experiences have given me the opportunity to really expand my horizons from where I was, to listen to all kinds of music, from the soulful stuff all the way to techno, and back again. They've given me the chance to play all that, music. I've played lounges, like small ones like Esmeralda's and even smaller, and I've played big, huge events. And so that also kind of let me expand my horizons. And so, but one of the first, that's another one of my husband's favorites, and mine too was French. French Kiss, of course. Man, we played that so many times. That's a great one. And so it was.
I mean, that and Blackout for me.
Yes. Like, his music is timeless, and that is what I want my sets to be as well. I want people to be able to go back and listen to them any point, at any time, and enjoy it. Whether it's 2016, 2024, or 2000, or whenever, it is that they come across it. And his music is a lot like that. So I've always loved listening to his tracks and his sets, and followed his music. And my husband was a super fan. So when I was asked to even just help, promote the event and participate, and then when I was asked to be a part of the team, I was all for it, and I wanted to give it my all. I didn't expect to be asked to play. I really didn't. I just went in as it would be a great experience just to get to know him, to see what his history, is, and how can I relate to that? What can I learn from him? Because he's been doing this on a level that's, way above mine. So anything that I can learn from people like that, I try to. I just want to gain experience in that department, and he had a lot to teach, and he was willing to have some really deep conversations with us about his journey and how he got there, and what his purpose is, at this point in his life. And that was touching me here, and we had some great conversation, and so I was happy just to happen to be that. And then when I got asked on my birthday to play with him, that was like the best birthday present ever. It really was. It definitely made me emotional. I tell you, we were dancing on the dance floor, and Ron will tell you, I went from like smile on my face with tears coming out my eyes, and he was like, "Wait a minute, what's happening? What did I miss?" And I was like, "No, it's good. It's good to you. It's good to you. This is such a great feeling, and I'm so blessed and happy, and I just wish that the people that I know would be proud of me, that can't be here could, but I know they are.
Yeah,
they definitely are, and I know they're pushing for me on the other side. I feel like a lot of these kinds of situations, I'm like, I know y'all are working up there for me. So thank you."
Right? You got a spiritual team.
Yes, I do. A big one. A whole football team. Oh my.
How do you balance that? The like work, home life?
It can be difficult sometimes.
How do you find harmony and synergy between them?
Yes. So, like I was saying earlier, the best way I have found to do that is because I know my weekends are busy. And Friday we're here in the Red Lab in the Red Garden. Most Saturdays, if not every Saturday, I have an event somewhere. And Sundays we're in the booth. So I try to make sure that the early in the week, after the weekend, I focus on family time and on self-care. So usually my Mondays are days that I stay off of the music. I separate myself from it. I focus on my kids. I focus on my home, family time, watching movies, and just kind of, it's like a palate cleanser. And it lets me kind of get rid of, all of the stuff from last weekend and refocus myself. And then Tuesday is usually self-care. So that's rest, whatever that means, if I need time to relax, to get extra rest, to also not focus on music, my home, things like that, but mainly myself, reading, anything that's for myself, and my well-being. And then Wednesday is when I get started on the next week, figuring out what I'm feeling for that set, trying to read, depending on where it is, the venue, what my vibe is going to be, what genre I want to play, and starting to dig through music for that. And then Thursday, it's working those folders down to a science and trying to get to a place where I can get it all out my USB and ready for Friday all over again.
Wow. So that's like the whole process.
Yes. And it has to be at this point, because before, it was when they were, one a month or two a month, it was, I could just, I had plenty of time, so I wouldn't really path it up that way. But now I have to have it down to a science. And even then, there are times where I come to Thursday and I'm like, I still don't know. But there's technology is amazing, and sometimes there's many different ways for me to work it out. Like I've done things like I have a record box app on my phone, and so and track source and things like that. I try to dig while I'm on the road. If I'm driving, I can dig for tracks and listen to whatever's new out there.
Nice.
Take a snapshot, or I put it in a folder. Or I'll throw it in a cart, and when I get home, I can go through the cart and see if I still, if I'm still feeling those. And then the record box app helps too. You can sync it to your computer after you've created your playlist, and I can kind of, on my lunch break, play around with some of the songs and see, what sounds good together, things like that. So it helps cut down on the time that I need to do all that at home.
So how many hours, and this will be my last question, before any last words that you'd like to offer, about how many hours a week do you spend digging for music, would you estimate?
So it depends on how long the set is going to be. And how much of that stuff I already have in folders, because that's a whole other discussion I have with often, is how much I dig for music and when do I put a period in that. And it's hard for me to put a period in it because I, like, for example, if I'm looking through, I used to dig in just added folders, and that's just a huge folder of everything that's downloaded into TrackSource that day, all the genres, all the everything. And sometimes that can feel a lot like a needle in a haystack, but I appreciate it because not everything that I think is a wonderful track makes it onto the charts or, you know, onto the top 100s. And I don't want that chart to dictate to me what is good music and what is not. I want my ears to tell me that.
And what would you say was the best piece of advice that you got from your conversations with Louis?
Oh gosh, there were a lot of them. He's a really deep person, which is nice to see. But a couple of things that stuck with me was in regards to like production. He said that the way to make your music timeless, you have to sit with it sometimes. It's like I've got probably thousands of tracks that will never see the light of day, but it's because I couldn't sit with them. And if you want your music, it's like quality over quantity. If you want your music to last in the minds and in the hearts of people, you have to be able to sit with it and really listen to it and never get tired of it. It's got to give you goosebumps every time. It's got to make you smile, just like
That's
that.
a high bar.
It is. But I feel that because I have already worked on music that unfortunately wasn't what the vision that I had for it was different than the vision that the label I was working with had for it. And so that also will never see the light of day, unfortunately, because I refuse to put my stamp on something that I'm not proud of and that I don't get that feeling from. And if they don't, you know, then
you got the veto power at the end of the day. So.
Right. I still have to put my name on it as an artist. And I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay with, because I want it to be quality over quantity. You see, Louis has put out a ton of music, but it's a fraction of what he's created. And so I understand that. And I'm learning to be patient with myself because, like I said, when I first came into production, it was like this desperation. Like, I have all this music in me and I don't know what to do with it. You know, I literally told him I felt like I was going to explode. It's just, I need to get it out. I need an avenue to get this out. I need to be able to vent it. And it's been so helpful to be able to do that. Because now I have an avenue to, you know, to work. And not every idea is gonna work out, but trying things out and, you know, working and knowing how to work with things has really been an amazing experience. It is, and I'm excited to work on the projects that I'm starting now because they'll be better, even better, you know, than the last one.
Can you give us some insight as to anything new that's about to pop off?
Well, me and Seven are back in the studio working on a few things. And we've got a couple of labels that we're already in connection with to be sending them to, as well as with Steve and Skip. We've got some stuff that we're working on for them. So I'm really excited to and we have our own project that we're working on for like an Afro-Latin. So we've got a couple in the works.
Nice.
Yes. I'm super excited for all of it.
My name is DJ Alicia. I've been DJing since 1996. I started off with steppers music, and in about 2010, I started doing exclusively house music. What I like most about DJing is it gives me a chance to release all the tensions and frustrations and feelings and emotions and that kind of thing. And it's nice that I can get that release and help people that come to hear me play on the dance floor get rid of those problems as well. It's an honor for me to be chosen to spin at the Chosen Few Picnic this year, or the Chosen Few Music Festival this year. This is the second year in a row for me. Last year was really emotional. It was my first time playing at the picnic. It's such an honor to be chosen to play a second time at the picnic. And hopefully you guys will come out on Sunday, check me out, bring your friends, families, tents, barbecue grills, come and stay. Come Saturday for the Chosen Few, and Sunday I'll be there. My mom, when she was growing up, used to live across the street from a record store. So she was real avid into like skating, things music related, skating, stuff like that. So, of course, back in the day, it was all about getting the records and getting the stuff for your, your house or whatever. So by the time I was born, I already had like a record collection.
Wow.
Right, I had like, hundreds of 45s. She had 78s. I still got some of those. So to keep me occupied, she bought me this little record player. And so while she was cooking and doing all the stuff, cleaning around the house, I would be playing these 45s. So the 45s was like mainly, doo-wops and steppers, what would be considered steppers music, now. So I would be playing songs like the Impressions, the Emeralds, and stuff like that. So I grew up listening to that, and as I grew in teenager in Chicago, music expanded. I think I really hate to be biased, but I think that was probably the best music of our lives.
I would have to agree.
All right.
It's literally the foundation of all modern music.
It's
the foundation of hip hop. It's the foundation of house.
Exactly.
It's the foundation of everything that's birthed.
Exactly. I really do believe that's the best music of our lives. So in growing up, and as everything was forming and transitioning, and I started listening to like funk and pop, and even we had teenage years, we had a channel called MV60. So MV60 was all music all the time, no commercials, and you could hear music from all over the place. And that's when I started getting exposed to people like Billy Idol and Adamant and the Go-Go's, and stuff like that. All the new wave stuff, right? Rock Lobster, and all, what I mean? Like, I was like, what is this stuff, right? So we transitioned on, and even prior to that, they had, I can't remember what the station was, but it was a station, and you had the 900 number, and you had to call the 900 number. Rock the box, right. We had to call the 900 number or whatever. Then they'd play your song, and then it seemed like it was the same 10 songs in rotation all day because everybody wanted to hear the same song. But then we moved on to MV60, which I loved. I really wish it was a station like MV60 on now. And MV60, of course, morphed into MTV. And they started doing the shows and the reality shows and all that stuff like that. It kind of lost its zeal. But MV60 was a very influential channel in expanding my horizons as far as music is concerned.
They were basically playing stuff that you didn't have at home.
Yeah, that's how I got introduced to like the Police and all that stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I really feel like today, Tiny Desk and stuff like that is doing that, like giving exposure to artists that you wouldn't normally hear, which I love as well. Tiny Desk. Shout out to Tiny Desk. Oh my goodness, I saw Maxwell when it premiered. So, in moving forward, when I first started DJing, it was kind of a natural progression for me to go into, of course I did mobile parties, birthday parties, and that kind of thing. But it was kind of a natural progression for me to go into steppers because those were the records that I was playing, for my mom, the stylistics and the dramatics and, you know what I mean, and the Marvin Gayes and the Curtis Mayfields and that kind of stuff. I was already very familiar with that kind of stuff. So I started doing the stepper sets at a pretty young age because I was already pretty much immersed in steppers music as a child.
All right, we're back at Step to Club 7. Good music, good stepper music. We had Jesse Powell and You're All I Need, and of course The Temptations and Some Enchanted Evening. I have a big smile on my face because I'm with this big fine woman here. Alicia, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Herb.
Hey, how you like my suit? This is my Mario Uomo suit. And I'm going to stand up in it, and I'm going to do the deep dusting. All right, we're going to do Sylvia Robinson and Pillow Talk. Sylvia Robinson said she wrote Pillow Talk for Al Green.
At Unity and in high school in general, I really didn't go out much. I used to go to, a couple of high school parties here and there. Of course, Mendel. Went to Mendel. Unity had high school parties. Quigley South had high school parties. But my mom had a car accident when I was 11. And she was diagnosed with epilepsy at that time. And she started having seizures. So I couldn't be far away from the crib. You know what I mean? I had to be right. In case something happened, I had to be able to get to her immediately, in case something happened. So it was almost easier for me to just stay home. And so my house was the house that all the people used to come and sit on the porch. So we would sit on the porch and we would listen to BMX, we would listen to KKC, we would listen to, so we got the house music, but it was, I guess you would call it like more commercial house music than like underground, what they were playing at the clubs. You know what I mean? So,
a little bit more to that style, or no?
They still were a little bit more commercialized because it's still, even to this day, I'm hearing songs that DJs play that actually went to the warehouse and stuff like that. They'll play a song and everybody will react to the song, and I'll be like, "What's that?" You know what I mean? Like, because I didn't get the opportunity to experience that. But yeah, we were definitely the kids on the porch with the boom box. I grew up with Ben Wilson. He lived a couple of blocks over. I know, right? And we went to grammar school together for a short time, and then, high school, he went to Simeon.
More than 600 people were murdered in Chicago last year, and police officials say the homicide rate could end up being 30% higher this year because of increased incidents of violence, such as the kind that claimed the life of 17-year-old Ben Wilson. Police have identified the suspects in his murder as members of a street gang. Those gangs are responsible for 61 murders so far this year.
But yeah, we hung out, we listened to the music on the porch and got it in that way. And I was DJing slightly at that point in time because I had my little cassette player that probably everybody did this. But somebody would play something and I'll be like, okay, I like that song, but not that much to be on my tape. So I would let the blend go by and then I would stop the song. And then right before the song went off, I would start it back on the beat. So it'd be, you know what I mean? The pause tape. Yeah. So those were good times. They were good times. I hate that I missed that experience and everything. And I also appreciate you for what you're doing, because when I decided to immerse myself into house music completely, I really wish there were more footage of like Ronnie and Frankie and the scene and that kind of stuff that I could watch and kind of absorb. You know what I mean? Yes, and there's nothing like, there's little clips, on YouTube or whatever. Yeah, it's little clips everywhere, and it's mixes. Ronnie mixes are starting to emerge on YouTube. And because of my algorithm, I get all of, those when they pop up and everything. But I can listen to a mix now that I did live that was bananas at the party because of the energy that was in the room. And I listen to it when I get home and be like, you know, not the same. Not the same. Right. Yeah. So I was just thankful. I was thankful that I did get to meet Frankie. And I did get to listen to a talk that he gave at the Shrine. He did an interview there, and I was able to listen to the interview and get, you know, information on his thoughts and his life and how he had to Chicago and where he was mentally with music at that point in time, you know. And I can see the progression. You know, I'm starting to move through the progression. So it's interesting. It's an interesting journey.
Now let me ask you a slightly controversial question.
Uh-oh, here we go. Fasten my seatbelt.
Okay, the Little Lewis had a talk a few months ago, and there was a lot of contention.
Again, like you say, everybody has their own interpretation of things that happen. You, I, and a few other people could be standing somewhere and see a situation happen and have 5 different interpretations of what actually happens. Everybody takes in their own perspective of things. Everybody takes in their own timeline of things. And I don't think it's any one person that can say what's the absolute truth and what's not, because everybody has their own perspective as to what's going on. But what I am going to say is that everybody is aging at this point in time, and and memories fade, and memories fade, and things get disjointed in our old age. You know what I mean? It's things now that I try to remember, people's names and situations, and where was I when I did that? And people have to remind me, don't you remember when you did? No, I don't. You know what I mean? And I don't want people to take themselves too seriously when it comes to that. I do want everybody to get their flowers, though. However, I do want everybody to be recognized while they're here to receive their flowers. We tend to not appreciate people while they're here, and then we want to have a big parade for them when they're gone. Let's have a parade now. You know what I mean? Let's have a parade now. We have a lot of pioneers in Chicago. We have a lot of people that push house music forward. And I think one of my mantras is, whether you're internationally known or whether you play at the lounge on Friday nights, you're still part of the story. Yes. You're still part of the story. You're still part of pushing this music forward and keeping it alive. You know.
The lounges help support the international DJs.
Right.
How would they even have a following if they didn't have something?
Exactly. Right. And who in the lounge would even know, like, who Louis Vega was or Joe Clausel or whatever, you know, unless the music is being played, you know, in all situations, in all where the people are. Exactly right. So, you know, I don't get in any of the arguments about history or who started what or who started, because I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know for sure. I wasn't in the room where I could say, no, this happened or that happened. So I stay completely out of those arguments. All I know is that when the baton was tossed to me or handed to me, I'm going to take it and I'm going to try to represent in the best way I can, you know, in the best way I can. So that there's the end of that sentence. By the time you went away, I never went away. I never went away. I got accepted at Illinois State, and I was going to go to Illinois State, and then I took a hard, long look at things, and I'm an only child. And what I did not want to do was leave my mother alone and be gone away to college, and something happened. So I graduated from high school on Thursday, and I started work at Harold Washington College, which was citywide college at that point in time, on Monday. So I had a 4-day weekend, 3-day weekend. And I started work. And I worked for a long time, and it wasn't until I got pregnant with my son that I said, it's time for me to get this master's degree. You know, I had gotten my associate because I worked at a college. Went back and got my bachelor's and my master's in a 5-year span because I don't feel like I can preach to my son about what he should be doing and how this college degree will help him if I didn't set an example. So now my son is a senior at Georgia State. So I'm going to let him make the decision at this point in time whether he wants to continue or not. I'm not going to push him into it, but I'm glad that he saw me, watched me go through the struggle that I went through because I had to work full time and go to school full time. And he saw all that happen. And so
he's probably independent like mom was.
He is. He's still
be begging for money. Like all teenagers.
Changing my name to Mommy, can you sell me? But he's like me in the fact that he won't ask me for anything unless it's like, right, has to be important. Yeah.
Was he going into a creative field?
So I wanted him to go into a creative field because I know what it's like to work a 9 to 5. I know what it's like, you know, to work for an unappreciative employer. I know what it's like, you know what I mean? And so I wanted him to really be an entrepreneur, and I was trying to push him in that direction. He fought me on that, and he got a job. And so now he knows what it's like to work for, you know, from 9 to 5, which I think he really needed that experience to appreciate the other. So now yeah, exactly. And it's not just on these trees. Right, or like that.
Now is Tom Ross, the House Minority Leader.
Who's that lady?
Who's that lady?
Beautiful lady.
Beautiful lady.
Sexy lady.
Sexy lady.
Real fine.
Yeah, but he's doing great. I'm extremely proud of him. So, I had moved to North Carolina for a year. This was, I had to be about 23, 24, around there. Moved to North Carolina for a year. Didn't particularly care for it. Came back. And when I came back, I didn't have a job. I was just kind of hanging out, you know. And it used to be a liquor store on 87th Street with a pool hall in the back of the liquor store. I was very good at shooting pool, and I didn't have a job.
Pool shark.
So I would be in the pool hall, you know, playing like the damsel in distress, like I didn't know, you know, how to play, and I was winning the little money to pay my little cell phone bill and all that stuff like that. And there was a tall, dark gentleman, very quiet, and he had next. And he shot his pool game. He was left-handed, and he shot his pool hand with his left hand with one hand. And I didn't really even get a chance to touch the table. And I was like, wow, okay, all right. He saw right through me. He saw right through all that little facade. And we started talking and we became friends. And before I knew it, we were dating. We both were working. I started working. I went to school, went back to school, started working. That was my dad's doing. Dad didn't play. Dad was like, you can't be out here pool hustling. Went back to school, started working. And then he had an accident at work. And he hurt his back, right? And so he was like, you know, I can't work, hurt my back, this, that, and the other thing. He went over one of his friend's house, and his friend was DJing. and came home with this tape. And he had the tape playing in the car, and I was like, who made this tape? And he was like, I did. You know, I was at my friend's house, blah, blah, blah. Made this tape. Okay, cool. So time went on. He still couldn't work because of his back. And he's like, I think I'm going to try my hand at DJing again, and this, that, and the other thing. So he started practicing. By this time, we got married. We had gotten married and all this other stuff going on. So he was practicing. And my mom had a friend that owned a DJ pool, C7 Sounds. And so the DJ pool, Les Richmond was in charge of the DJ pool. He owned the DJ pool, and he would do sound. And what he would do would just come up. The people would call C7 Sounds like to book a DJ for an event, wedding, banquet, whatever. And then he would send out the appropriate person for your event. And he would set up the equipment and everything, so you would just bring your crates of records and you come play the event. So Raphael was working for him, and at the same time, I'm in the basement with Raphael while he's practicing, worrying him to death. And I was like, you should mix Moody with 119. And you should mix I'm Hungry with No UFOs. And you should mix, and he just got so mad at me one day. He was like, you should mix I'm Hungry and UFOs, No UFOs. And he just stormed out, right? I'm a little sassy. So I was like, okay. So I went over there and started messing with the records. I'm going to see if I can mix it. It ain't mixed. The mixes wasn't mixing. The ideas I had, I didn't understand nothing about BPMs. I didn't understand that was 119 and that was 127. I didn't understand anything or whatever, about it or whatever. So he saw I was interested in it, and he calmed down a little bit, and he started teaching me. He started making me go through a series of exercises to learn the concepts. So he gave me a crate of records, and he taught me how to count the BPMs, and I would count the BPMs and mark the records. So then we would put the records in the crate, in order of BPM. And so when we were at the party, everything was organized and it flowed smoother. And, so we had, each crate had a genre in it, and each crate was lined up by BPMs, and so we were able to easily mix in and out of the records. But he was DJing a wedding one day, and I was being the nice girlfriend on the stage. I was being the DJ girlfriend on the stage. And he said, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Can you just play that record that's already queued up? I'll be right back. I said, okay. Looking around, record was getting ready to go on. And I walked up there and I pushed the play, slid the slide fader over to the record. The record is playing, He's Not Back. He's Not Back. I'm like, where's the... Okay, so I get another record and I put it in. My blending skills wasn't blending at that point in time, but I knew how to play some records, right? Put the other record on, called with a slide fade. Slide faded over to the other record, and the people was like, okay, okay. And about 10 records in,
Come back, finally.
he ain't come back. He at the bar. He over at the bar. He's at the bar with the CEO, the C7 Sounds, him and Les Richmond. They just standing at the bar observing me play these records. I had a mild heart attack. My hands were shaking. I was trying to put the needle on the record and my hands were shaking. I was so nervous. And it kills me that people think DJing is so easy. They think we're just standing up there, just pushing a button and then all the magic happens. It's so much that's involved in DJing. You know what I mean? Aside from the technique, aside from song selection, you got to read the room. You got to be able to look and tell, what kind of crowds you have. Do you have, and this was a wedding reception. So you got all ages, you know what I mean? You got auntie and them over here. You got the little cousins over here that want to hear Belle Biv DeVoe and they want to hear B.B. King. You know what I mean? You got to figure out how to make it all work and make sense. Right. So yeah, so that was who actually taught me how to spin. You know what I mean? He gave me the foundation. We got our music collections together, which I still have. He was the cornerstone, the foundation of everything that I've done since then. Wow. We're not married anymore, but the great thing is both of us are adults, so we're still the best of friends. I still consider him my mentor. He still calls me for house music. I still call him for steppers. Yeah, he still DJs. He's in Atlanta. He DJs out of Atlanta now. So my Kim Possibles evolved from my non-for-profit. I started a non-for-profit, Legacy Art Center for Education. Went through all the rigmarole, the state, the tax ID number, all the paperwork, all the everything, got it off the ground. And as soon as I got it off the ground, got the programs developed, it dealt with musical acumen. It was for kids, not just girls, it was for kids. Musical acumen, it was a piece for finance, because we don't teach our children anything about finance, anything about stocks, anything about budgeting their money. We just don't teach them that. There was a career development. Miss Nikki was actually in charge of the career development, and there was a STEM program. So I was ready to go. Let's get it started. I was getting ready to get a brick and mortar building for us to have our programs in, after school programs. I had just got tied to, my friend Gabrielle Hunter had got me linked to the public schools where I could do after school programs, and then COVID. So everything got put on hold. So when I came back, when outside opened back up, I said I would just take a group of girls and try to cultivate them. While we were in COVID, and I was looking at Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and the direction that our young girls are going in, the music they're listening to, the people they consider, you know what I mean? The people they look up to, like we had, Luke in them, but we also had Gladys Knight in them. You know what I mean? We had a balance. We had a balance of that. And it's like, now they're like being inundated with thinking that being disrespectful and, it's one Michelle Obama, but it's 1,000, you know what I mean? Bad examples of what a black woman should be. So I said I wanted to grab a group of girls, and my group had no number. Whoever wanted to, give me their babies, gave me their babies. And I started doing events with them. We rented out a theater. Jerome Orr was gracious enough to give us a theater, and we had movie night for the girls, and it was just them in the theater. So they could dance and they could sing and talk to the movie, the screen and all that without worried about interrupting anyone. We did a paint party. That was kind of like the first thing I did to get them acclimated to each other, meet each other, and that kind of thing. I'm trying to put together right now I don't know what to call it, a brunch. Trying to put together a brunch for them now where they will have like etiquette and photo shoot, like a pamper day or whatever. I really want them to appreciate themselves, because you can't teach somebody else how to appreciate you unless you know how to appreciate yourself. You do. You have to. So I've got them, and then I've got a group of gentlemen lined up, dads, other guys, that are going to escort them and sit them down. And, you don't know how you're supposed to be treated unless you're treated that way. So I'm trying to get that together now. But it's a lot. It's a lot going on right now.
Oh, yeah. Everywhere.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on right now, but I do love them, and they're growing up so fast, and yeah, I adore them. I want girls to know that it's and look at the situation we're in now, where we've got a presidential nominee that's female. Yes, right. The future is female, and that's gonna be my slogan for this year. The future is female. Because I actually wanted to do that full time. I wanted to get grant money. I wanted to get the brick and mortar building. I wanted to transition from employment to running my non-for-profit. It just didn't work out that way. You know what I mean? Maybe after retirement, which is very soon. Looking forward to that. It's right down there, down the street. I can see it. And it really makes me mad when people say black women don't support each other and we hate on each other and we're this and we're that. Because I got more support from black women in everything I do, in DJing and the makeup lines and the non-for-profit, everything. The sisters reach out to me and be like, what is it that you need? What is it that how can I support? You know. Not gonna lie, I get a little bit of hate from the fellas. Most of the hate comes from the fellas. You know, I don't know what it is about that. Not gonna take away from the fellas that have been big brothers, because there have been a lot of gentlemen that have taken me under their wing and helped me advance in my endeavors. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Really, thank you so much for that. But yeah, I just want to put that out there because I'm tired of people saying that black women don't support each other. We do support each other. Just like anything, people are going to have differences, you know what I mean, in any walk of life. That's understandable. But for the most part, I've experienced nothing but good things from my sisters. Even sisters like First Lady, who's taking me to Amsterdam, so I can be heard internationally. Even sisters like Sundance, who put me on her radio station. Miss Nikki, who's been, you know, by my side. I actually used to babysit Miss Nikki when we were little. Miss Nikki. Lori Branch and Lady D, who I look up to. I gotta say that I try to pattern myself after Lady D and Lori Branch because I just think that they're just class acts. They're just phenomenal. All about business, all about the culture, all about moving things forward. You never hear anything bad about any of these, you know what I mean, about these ladies or whatever. And I appreciate that. Say the drama for your mama. Cause we don't right, she don't want it either. So I made a remix. It was on Track Source. I was dabbling in trying to, make remixes and stuff like that because I did that with stepper songs. And then I made a little remix for my birthday. It's called I Want It Rough. And I played it at my birthday party at the Loft. At the Loft. I played it at my birthday party at the Shrine. Guest to Terry Hunter. And it got such a great reception. And I was like, oh wow, that's just, I just did a little loop and put the vocals on top of there and put a little razzle dazzle on it. And they liked it, right? So I played it next to a song that Mike Dunn made, and I was listening to the difference in the sound of it, So I said, I wonder if I send it to Mike, can he make it sound like his song sounds, right? He got sonic boom in his production, right? So, send it to Mike. I don't even know if Mike responded when I sent it to him, whatever. Just send me the song, Alicia, So I'm at Reynolds, and I'm standing there, kind of observing everything, taking everything in. Mike gets on the microphone and says, "No music by DJ Alicia." That was my face, too. I wish you guys could see her face. "No music by DJ Alicia coming out on T's Box." I wish you guys could see her face again. I Want It Rough, featuring Black Widow, who is my best friend, Danielle, right? And he played it, and I just was standing on the stairs outside the DJ booth just bawling. Just bawling, right? And so I'm tearing up now. And so that kind of took my expectation of production from where it was to Mike Dunn status, right? Put the record out. Record was number one on track, so it stayed number one for a long time, right? So then he did another one with me called Groove Me. Black Widow again on the vocals. Another number one hit. Everything Mike does is like number one. Another number one hit. And then Mike started traveling all over the world. So it wasn't no more time Mike down to do no production. Mike doing his own production. He on Defected Records and all kind of stuff like that. So Mike was gone. So I'm like, okay, I guess it's production. So once you have a level of production at that scale, everything else you do is like, that's not quite rough status, not quite groovy status. So what I started doing was, and even though Terry has always been phenomenal, he'll be like, send it to me, Elisa. Whatever you make, just send it to me. Send it to me. And I want to hear it. I want to hear your progression or whatever. I don't be sending Terry that stuff. Terry, I'm not sending you that. Terry Grammy nominated. I'm not sending you those songs. Terry doing songs with Beyonce, Mariah Carey, Mariah Loudhouse. I'm Terry. I'm not sending you that stuff. So I've just been doing my own thing, kind of just like practicing, working on it, trying to get better. So I produce stuff and I put it on Bandcamp just to get a feel of, because I got to get the creativity out of my head, whether it's on a big scale or a small scale or whatever. I still got to get it out. It can't stay bottled up inside me. So I've been making songs and putting them on. So periodically I put a couple songs on, on Bandcamp when I have time. Again, I'm retiring soon from work and I'm going to have more time on my hands. So I'm hoping to do all of these things that I love to do. DJing, production, my non-for-profit, my cosmetic business. I'm hoping to be able to have more time to do those things real soon. So I'm looking forward to that. Can you tell a little bit?
Oh, I can tell. Your wings about to burst out your back.
And something else. I got another big project. Can't talk about it yet.
Oh,
I know. I gotta leave. It's a suspenseful ending.
You got a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger for season 2.
White Sox home openers today. I need you to run something by you. Can you scoop me? Alright, I'll see you in a few.
Why y'all been driving in the far left lane going slow? Get out the way.
Man, you got road rage.
They need to get out of my way. This is my road.
Hey, we need to find somebody to work communications on the job. We gotta stay connected. See? That is exactly what I'm talking about.
Somebody for communication so we can stay connected. I mean, take care of that job.
What are you thinking about?
I got a guy. Mickey Calvin.
Do I know him?
I think you do. You don't know him? Hold on, let me get somebody on the phone that can vouch for him. Hold on.
Yeah, you better do that.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Can you meet us in section 161?
I doubt you, my man, Mickey Calvin. He had transitional op, he taking over whatever Mickey Calvin want to do. I vouch for him 100%.
I told you, Mickey Calvin. You got us faded. I worked with him on Matrician, Licorice Project, and the Black Cat Ops.
Alright, well, we're going to use, we're going to need walkie-talkies. Definitely going to need some microphones, some hidden cameras. Everything got to be encrypted, like yesterday.
I called in the top guy so he could vouch for him, just so you could be more secure.
He's our man, a very dangerous mission. He will do it.
Told you.